Happy New Year and welcome to our second TaaS Technology podcast. 2019 is the second year of the TaaS Technology Conference, and later in this episode we speak to its conference director, Suki Badal, about what we could expect from this year's event. But first, on to the news. New year, new tech. As SafeRide Technologies, an automotive cybersecurity company, announced the launch of VX-Ray, a behavioural profiling and anomaly detection technology for connected vehicles security operations centres. VX-Ray can be seamlessly integrated into customers' connected vehicles SOC independently of vehicles architecture or ECU sourcing. It can help customers uncover zero-day vulnerabilities, providing early detection of vehicle malfunctions and flag misuse and abuse problems. VX-Ray uses advanced unsupervised machine learning paradigms in a fully autonomous process to establish the normal behaviour of a vehicle without dependencies or previous knowledge of ECU properties and protocols. Continuing on the security focus, the world's second largest mobility supplier Denso and Dalfa, a cybersecurity company, have entered into a joint development agreement to bring Zero Day Guard 1.0, a cybersecurity product, to market for the automotive industry. Zero Day Guard is Dalfa's IoT cybersecurity solution that prevents zero-day cyber attacks on IoT devices through built-in code execution protection. It is enabled with one operation in the development of IoT device code and subsequently can instantaneously detect root cause hacks and cyber attacks remotely in the cloud. Dalfa's solution approach does not use signatures or machine learning to thwart attacks, but an inside-out rapid instrumentation to increase immediate precision and virtually eliminate the false positive problems that plague many cybersecurity solutions. Tony Canister, Director of Corporate Ventures at Denso, said, "We are excited to be working with Dalfa to protect our automotive electronic control units. As we continue to increase performance in the fields of connectivity and automated driving, solutions like Zero Day Guard become essential for a vehicle security against cyber attacks." As I record this podcast, CES is taking place in Las Vegas, and it is from there that Toyota Research Institute unveiled P4 automated driving test vehicles. The P4 is based on the all-new 5th generation Lexus LS flagship sedan and will be used in TRI's 2-track Guardian and Chauffeur automated driving system development. Our chauffeur development is focused on the full autonomy, where the human is essentially removed from the driving equation, either completely in all environments or within restricted driving domain, says Ryan Eustace, Senior Vice President of Automated Driving at TRI. Guardian, on the other hand, is being designed to amplify human performance behind the wheel, not replace it. The introduction of the new P4 platform will help us accelerate the development of both tracks when it joins our fleet this spring. Across the CS exhibition hall to Nissan, who are announcing their future vision for a vehicle that helps drivers see the invisible by merging both real and virtual worlds, creating ultimate connected car experience. Invisible to Visible, or I2V, is a future technology created through Nissan's Intelligent Mobility, the company's vision for changing how cars are powered, driven and integrated into society. I2V will support drivers by merging information from sensors outside and inside the vehicles with data from the cloud. This enables the system not only to track the vehicle's immediate surroundings, but also to anticipate what's ahead, even showing what's behind a building or around a corner. To make driving more enjoyable, guidance is given in an interactive human-like way, such as through avatars that appear inside the car. By tapping into the virtual world, I2V opens up endless possibilities for service and communication, making driving more convenient, comfortable, and exciting. I'd like to welcome a special guest and friend to this week's podcast, Suki Badal. Suki is the Conference Director at TaaS Technology Conference, which returns this year on the 4th and 5th of June in Birmingham. So I thought, to start 2019, we'd talk about last year's event and what they have lined up for this year. Happy New Year and welcome, Suki.
Thank you, Scott. Happy New Year, Scott, and Happy New Year to all the TaaS Technology subscribers.
Okay, so to start things off, do you want to tell me a little bit about the inaugural event last year and what happened?
Yeah, sounds good. So TaaS Technology 2018, it took place on the 9th and 10th of July in Coventry. The conference was organised in partnership with Coventry University and WMG at the University of Warwick, who are key partners of the event, and they've really helped us shape the focus and the themes of the event to make sure we get the content right, which is attractive for the industry. For the 2018 event, we had 15 months of research go into it and planning around the area of connected autonomous vehicles and future mobility. So there was a lot of work behind closed doors to make sure the event attracted the right people. We formed a program board of experts in the industry who helped us shape the agenda to make sure we put on a conference and exhibition which attracted some of the major global companies involved in the CAVs and future mobility industry. Some of the speakers we attracted were companies like Nokia, Orange, Intel, Microsoft, Nvidia, Uber, and JLR. These are companies who are really at the forefront of the industry and helping to shape the future of mobility. It was important to make this a global event, and one of our goals from the offset was to make it a global event and not be too UK-centric, and attracting the speakers we did helped us to achieve our goals. The conference was actually a really good success and attracted 300 plus delegates, 60 plus expert international speakers, and 50 sponsors and exhibitors. The events we organise are very different from some of the larger trade shows, events with multiple conference rooms and a sea of exhibitors and thousands of delegates. We focus on attracting the senior level attendees from the major companies across the entire value chain of the industry, promoting an intimate networking environment so real connections and business decisions can be made during the 2 days of the event.
I mean, I was lucky enough to be there at last year's event for both of the days, and I think the feedback that I got from most of the people and the delegates there was how good the number of the range of delegates were, and from the whole value chain. You know, they weren't just the automotive market. There was the people that are putting the kit in the cars and all the sensors and things like that. It was really impressive to see. So, building on the success of 2018, what's different this year? What are you doing differently this year?
So what we're doing this year, to put it simply, we're making it twice as nice. We've just launched a 2019 event, and it will evolve into 2 co-located conferences and a shared exhibition. The conference will take place on the 4th and the 5th of June at the National Motorcycle Museum in Birmingham. The first conference will look at CAVs and future mobility as in 2018. We've mixed up the topics a bit, so we've got a new focus for the conference and we've got some new themes, but pretty much it's going to cover the same kind of technology and the same kind of foresight that the first conference did in 2018. The new co-located conference will be called Energising Future Mobility, and it will look at key topics surrounding electric vehicles, battery and energy technology and infrastructure, which are really important in the future of mobility, because if we are going to move to electric vehicles in the near future, the infrastructure will have to accommodate to cope with the demand for EVs, and the grid will have to cope for the electricity that's needed for the cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the key thing we're selling this year for the 2 conferences is that attendees can attend the event and only purchase 1 ticket. So they're going to have full access to both conferences, providing access to key industry leading insiders, delivering more than 80 presentations spanning all the key topics which are really important in the industry right now. The conference will equip the delegates with an up-to-date overview of the status of the industry and provide them with many opportunities to meet other key players within this community. And we really do focus on the networking. So it's not about sitting there listening to 30 presentations a day. It's about people getting together, collaborating and having really meaningful conversations to drive the industry forward.
Yeah, so if a delegate turns up, they can go to both events, they can go to whatever they want to go to in terms of content, and they can really dive down into what's interesting to them.
They will be, yeah. So, there's a really strong overlap between the 2 conferences. So the big sell of the conference is going to be that if you are interested in CAVs, but you also have an interest in EVs or battery technology, you can choose which presentation you want to go and hear. So which company you want to go and hear, and there's different time slots, and there's going to be a communal exhibition hall. So all the breaks and things will be at the same time. So the networking will happen between the 2 sets of the audience at the same time, which is a really good key thing for the industry, I think. Because as you said earlier, one of the key things about the 2018 event was we did attract the whole value chain, and the advantage of that, not many conferences do that. They focus on either just the technology or just the insurance side of things. We were actually focusing on the whole industry, which was a really good key selling point for the 2018 event, and it will be for the 2019 event again.
So it's a great place to come to then if you're looking to, as a company, to reach other people, or as a delegate to maybe get your voice out there and see what other people are doing. It's an ideal space for that.
Absolutely. One thing we're seeing in the industry right now is that collaboration is key to really drive the industry forward. So we're seeing academia, we're seeing government, and we're seeing industry all work together. That's probably one of the key unique selling points of what the UK is doing, as opposed to maybe US and Germany and some of the other European countries are doing. So in that sense, we want to make sure that collaboration takes place at the conference. So delegates talking to each other, talking to the sponsors, talking to the speakers, and really helping to drive drive the industry forward.
Perfect. So who's already signed up for 2019 then?
So far, we've confirmed about 30 plus speakers over the two conferences, and we've got the likes of Auto Trader, AVL, BP, the Department for Transport, Free to Move, Jump, RideSell, Uber, Volkswagen and What Three Words signed up, and there's plenty more signed up as well. With many more exciting global expert speakers to be announced over the coming months, the 2019 events are shaping up to be a great gathering once again.
Yeah, I looked at obviously you've launched the press releases this week and you've started promoting the event, and it's great to see already the breadth of people exhibiting and speaking at the event. It's incredible. Yeah. So if someone's listening to this, they want to get involved, whether they want to speak at the event or they want to sponsor the event or they want to attend as a delegate, how do they do that? How do they get involved?
Okay, I mean, the first port of call will be to visit the TaaS Technology website, which is www.taas.technology, and on there you'll find further information about who we've got speaking, information about the sponsorship, and if you want to get involved on the exhibition side to have a presence at the conference, and also if you'd like to speak or attend as a delegate, there's information there to get in touch with us and we can give you further information. Delegates can visit the website and sign up online also. We have reduced the price for 2019 and you get access to two conferences, so it really will be twice as nice. Invited speakers are chosen by our program board, and we have a number of partnership packages which would allow you to speak and exhibit at the conference. We also have a startup package to give startup scale-up companies a chance to speak and exhibit at the conference for a lower cost. We're really keen to involve not just the main OEMs and the big players in the industry. We want to involve those companies which are emerging in the industry, because the industry will be driven forward by these kind of companies.
Especially with technology moving at such a pace.
Exactly.
You know, all these new startup companies, they've all got something to say, and you just give them the voice to put it out there, really.
Exactly. So as part of that startup package, they'll have a presence in the exhibition, and they'll have a 3-minute Dragon's Den kind of pitch on the main stage in front of the whole audience. So it's going to be a really good exposure for them to the industry.
So finally, seeing as I've got you here, what can we expect from CAVs and Future Mobility Technologies in 2019 and moving forward?
Okay. It's really a genuinely exciting time to be involved in the technologies which will revolutionise transportation. Technology is more deeply affecting the future of mobility than at any time since the birth of the automobile. Today's economies are dramatically changing, triggered by development in emerging markets, the accelerated rise of new technologies, sustainability policies, and changing consumer preferences that include how people view the need for vehicle ownership. Vehicle ownership is actually changing right now. You know, a lot of people don't see the need to actually go out and buy a car. They want to share a car or ride share a car. So I think that ownership model is going to change going forward. Digitalization and new business models have revolutionized other industries, and transportation will be no exception. For the automotive sector, these forces are giving rise to 5 disruptive technologies-driven trends: diverse mobility, shared mobility, autonomous driving, electrification, and connectivity. These are all big key things which we want to cover at our conference, because I think that's what's going to drive the mobility future forward. The magnitude of what we are seeing is actually being witnessed at the CES show, which took place last week in Las Vegas. The Consumer Electronics Shows is replacing traditional auto shows, and many of the main car manufacturers, many of the new companies inventing the technology to drive the industry forward were actually at CES. So your traditional shows like your Detroit Auto Show, the big one in Germany, the big London Motor Show, they're kind of declining. And people want to go to the mainstream consumer electronic shows like CES, which is a really exciting thing for the industry.
It just shows how the synergy with cars and digital technology is really merging together and getting closer.
Exactly, it really is, and that's what we're seeing across the industry. We are seeing, as I mentioned earlier, increased collaboration between academia, industry and government, which will help accelerate the impending revolution. And we love being able to bring the industry together at the TaaS Technology event and keeping the industry up to date with all the latest news from the TaaS digital magazine and the TaaS News website. So for further information, if you want, about the conference, can be seen, as I said, at www.taas.technology, and further information about the magazine can be seen at www.taas.news. So we're really excited to be launching this event this week, and we're really excited to try and bring the industry together once again in 2019.
And as you say, it's going to be a twice as nice year.
Exactly.
You know,
that's what we're hoping for.
So thank you very much for coming in and talking to us. Appreciate it. Details from all of the articles on today's podcast and more news and features can be found online at www.taas.news. Or if you have any comments, feedback or articles you'd like to include, then please email us at info@taas.news.